All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we are going through Proverbs 10, verse 10. Let's get it. Whoever winks the eye causes trouble, and a babbling fool will come to ruin. So, baseline interpretation of this, don't hide things or talk about unnecessary things. Why did I have that as my baseline interpretation? In my mind, when somebody's winking their eye and causing trouble, it's because there's some sort of deception or trickery or misdirect, or they're just trying to deceive people around them. And so that's what an eye wink is for me. It's either you're trying to deceive somebody or it's like, ha, gotcha, wink at them as they realize the terror that's about to unfold, right? It's not nothing ever too heinous, but it is a I gotcha type of moment. You wink at them. And that typically the gotcha moment comes from hiding things. That's why the baseline interpretation of this for me was don't hide things. And then talking about unnecessary things, babbling fool. If you're a fool and you're babbling, you're probably talking about something that nobody cares about except for yourself. And it's probably irritating to the people around you. And so don't hide things. Don't talk about unnecessary things. Don't do a misdirect or any sort of deception, is what I'm picking up from this. And then when I think of the entrepreneurial application, it's taking daily action, phase 7, which is really talking about communication. And so what I realized is during this, I have my stages of self-improvement, and I've been using those for the entrepreneurial application. But really, I need to also have my stages of entrepreneurship because I think you can improve yourself, and that'll help you with entrepreneurship. But then you can improve actual entrepreneurial skills, and I would say communication is more of an entrepreneurial skill. You don't want to go into the marketplace trying to misdirect people or trying to switch it up. Be like, hey, I'm going to give you this. And then they get on the call and you give them that, but you also give them this. You don't want to like be engaging in any sort of trickery, right? You want to build trust with people, which means you need to communicate honestly, authentically, and vulnerably. And so, yeah, when you put it out there on the table and you actually seek to understand people and then you communicate with them properly, no trickery involved, all honesty. I think that's what makes a business run well. It's like, hey, I'm going to produce these results for you, and then you produce those results for them and more, right? It's not I'm going to produce these results for you and then they pay you and then you wink at them because you got their money but they didn't get the result. You don't want to be doing those types of winks. You want to be like the hey, I got you. We're doing this together. So build that trust, and you build that trust through communication and delivery, which all happens in the daily action. It's how you communicate daily with the people you're serving and then how you serve them daily, the results you're producing. And so where do I want this to show up in my life? First and foremost, honesty in everything that I do, making sure that I can back up what I say or simply admitting when I can. So if I'm promising a result, it's like, hey, I want to build in some guarantees so that everybody feels good about this, but I also want to make sure that I can actually do what I say I'm going to do. And I think it's easy to forget about that in business. It's like, hey, I'm going to create this epic offer, but you have to actually get good at it. And I think Alex Hormozy talks about that a lot. Get good. Do be awesome. Actually be awesome. Then you have a story to tell. You have a story to market, but you have results you can produce, right? If you never do the work to get there, it's going to be hard to deliver. And so that's where I want to show up in my life, making sure I can back up what I say. And then when I can't, being honest about it and just having that honesty in everything that I do so I can sleep well at night and so I can prioritize building solid relationships with the people around me. And so where do I want this to show up in my life? So that's where it has shown up in my life. Honesty in everything I do, making sure I can back up what I say. Where do I want to show up in my life? I want to use my words to build people up. And I want to have a huge, authentic smile instead of a wink, right? Like when you wink, there's some trickery. When it's a huge, authentic smile, it's like, hey, I'm enjoying being right here in this moment with you. And that's as honest as it gets. That's what I want to do. For that, that takes some self improvement, that takes some self alignment, and it takes choosing to love the people around me well, whether it be in business or in my personal life, right? So I just want to use my words to build up people and have my smile warm their hearts because it's so huge, so authentic, and it's communicating that I want to be right there with them right now. So how can you guys apply this to your life? I would say be honest with yourself. Don't judge yourself. And so basically, when you are taking that daily action, trying to communicate and serve the people around you, we often neglect ourselves. And so that honesty starts with yourself. If you're gonna be honest with other people, you need to be honest with yourself and you need not judge yourself because then you'll be able to present it to other people after you've built up that self love. Because as long as you're like trying to get love from other people for stuff that they really can't give you, you're going to be doing stuff that doesn't make sense. And trickery, deception doesn't make sense until you put that emotion of needing other people's affirmation in there. Because it's like, I will do whatever I can for that affirmation. But when you're not seeking that affirmation because you've been honest with yourself and you've chosen not to judge yourself, and so you've extended yourself the same love that you want to extend to others, that's when you can start acting with honesty and alignment in the world, and then prompting others to do the same. And that's a journey. Nobody's perfect at it. We all care about people. That's how we're wired, because none of us want to be isolated. But it is a process of doing it less and less, and then being more and more honest, and then creating a life such that you can be honest and calling yourself out on the BS that you do every day. So that's what we got for you guys today on the show. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you on the next one. And on that note, we're out.